Sup guys, Bjorn here. I hope you're all doing great as 9.2 is finally live. I'm here with your 9.2 reputation guide for the Enlightened reputation. We're gonna take a look at all the different things attached to it, how you farm it, what kinds of rewards there are, how you min-max it, the player power attached to it, your daily routine in Zereth Mortis, etc, etc. Blizzard did a pretty good job with this reputation, I have to say. It's a lot less min-maxed than Korthia, it's a lot less finicky, you don't have to grind as hard with the rares, and there's a lot less player power attached to it as well. So pretty good job Blizzard here. There are still a couple of problems though. But I think we should start with examining the rewards, because you want to know why you should even grind this rep to begin with. And the biggest reward in terms of player power, in my opinion, is the Memory of Unity. You will get this at Revered with the Enlightened, and it will allow you to craft the second Covenant Lego that you unlock in 9.2 into any slot you want. And this is also account-wide, so it's actually great for alts. It's a huge thing that you would want to pick up as soon as possible, I imagine. Keep in mind that the second legendary is time-gated by the campaign. It becomes available at the start of week 5, so you don't have any stress to hit Revered before then. And that is arguably the only player power that's really on the Enlightened reputation, which could, in many eyes, at least in mine, be a good thing. One minor thing that's definitely going to be nice for at least crafters is the legendary crafting upgrade item and the eye level 262 crafted gear upgrade item that becomes available at Honored. So if you're a crafter and you want to make cash in 9.2, you should definitely try to get Honored as soon as possible to make sure you can craft those items, and maybe sell some 262 eye level crafted gear on the auction house. This is obviously also a small power gain, so whenever Honored comes around, you should definitely keep an eye out on the auction house for those pieces of gear. The third player power that was previously on the Enlightened reputation was the 278 conduit upgrade item for all of your conduits on one character. This has since been removed and put on a Covenant vendor, so you don't actually need to farm the Enlightened reputation all the way up to Exalted for any player power. The rewards that are at Exalted are however quite nice still. We have obviously a lot of vanity items, a couple of mounts, even a mount at Revered. We have a second Hearthstone toy that makes you teleport to your Hearthstone location, which is really nice. The best thing at Exalted in my opinion is the permanent Shadowlands augment rune. This is going to cost you 50k gold, or probably 40k at the Exalted gold discount value, but still it's a decent gold sink, but it's a huge gain. Obviously you can pop an augment rune whenever you want. It's going to save you a lot of cash over the patch, and it's also maybe a decent power gain for some people. So a worthwhile reward at Exalted in my opinion, but not something you would want to grind for necessarily. We also have some really cool stuff from the Paragon chest. We have a wormhole toy add-on that you can augment your wormhole toy with, so that it also goes to Zereth Mortis. There's a unique mount in the Paragon chest. There's some transmog, some soul shapes, etc, etc. Enough about the rewards, let's get straight into how you actually farm the reputation, and I'll just list all of the sources here before we get into the daily routine. Now, the most straightforward source that you'll find in 9.2 is the campaign. The campaign will reward you with a total of 4050 reputation spread out across its various chapters. The biggest chunk is in week 1 because we have 3 chapters available. You would obviously want to get those done as soon as possible, because those are in fact what unlocks Zereth Mortis to begin with. Other than that though, you don't really need to stress about the campaign. You just do them when they become available. Remember that the only thing to keep in mind there is that at week 5, whenever the last campaign chapter becomes available, that's when you unlock second legendaries, so you'll obviously want to complete the campaign at that point. The first thing that you'll need to keep track of is the weekly quest in Zereth Mortis, and this is actually similar to back in 8.3, a twice a weekly quest instead of a weekly quest. So it's gonna come back twice a week, it gives you 500 rep, and this is just your average zone fill the bar quest. What is actually a weekly is the World Boss. This gives you a 200 reputation, not a huge deal, but you should definitely do it whenever it's up. Now moving into the daily stuff, and here we have World Quests, 125 reputation each. There are 3 of them, and crucially, 1 unlocks through the cipher of the first one. So this is one of 2 necessary interactions you will want to have with the cipher of the first ones in order to maximize your reputation. Other than that, you can pretty much leave the cipher of the first one system if you don't want to interact with it. This third world quest is actually unlocked through the first column second upgrade, so it takes a total of 1 hour to research it. Should be pretty easy to just knock out on the first day of 9.2. In total, all of those 3 world quests will give you 375 reputation per day, and this is by a small margin the biggest source of daily reputation you can have in Zereth Mortis, so it is the number 1 priority, I would say, every single day, is to get those 3 world quests done. Next up we have rares. There are 29 rares available in Zereth Mortis. I'm not sure if it's gonna work like Korthia, where some of them are not up every single day, but regardless, that's quite a lot of rares. Most of them rewards 10 reputation now after the Blizzard nerfs, but there are still 4 on a separate island that rewards 15 each. In total, that's 310 reputation per day if you kill every single rare. So not a whole lot per rare, but still a decent chunk of daily reputation if you do manage to knock them all out. A fairly minor source is going to be dailies, because these actually don't give reputation in and of themselves, but they have a chance to give a rep token that grants you 75 Enlightened reputation. Because of that, and because they actually reward some other pretty decent stuff like Cosmic Flux, etc., you would still want to do the dailies pretty much every single day, in my opinion at least, and these are similar to the Korthia dailies. One of the dailies, similar to how one of the world quests unlocked from the Cypher, one of the dailies also unlocked from the Cypher. This, however, takes 7 days to research. It's in the second column, so you should definitely get that started ASAP, or maybe it was the third column. Well, whatever, it's in one of the columns. I'll have it Enlightened XD on the screen. Then we have 2 final minor sources of reputation. First of all, we have one-time side quests. There are 5 of these. You can obviously just do them once. They reward a total of 525 reputation, so just do them ASAP or whenever you feel like it. It's just a minor source of reputation that you can use maybe to get honored or revered, or whenever you're wanting to hit a breakpoint. The last source of reputation 9.2 is going to be the contract. This is in and of itself a reward at revered, but remember that it can be bought on the auction house, so whenever someone on your server hits revered, this is going to be up there most likely, which means that you can pick it up even before hitting revered. It's gonna reward you with 10 reputation with the Enlightened per world quest you do. I think this works in Zereth Mortis as well, but it definitely works outside of Zereth Mortis in the old Shadowlands zone. So if you like doing old world quests, or you're just doing your emissaries or whatever, this is a nice little extra bonus to have on top. With all of the rep sources laid out, let's take a look at how long the reputation will actually take to grind out. But first, I want to encourage you to subscribe down below if you aren't already subscribed. It's going to help me out a ton, it's going to make my day, but more importantly, it's actually going to let you know whenever I upload my 9.2 guides. I'm going to upload a ton of stuff going into the new patch, class content, Mythic Plus, raid, and also obviously some guides. And you don't want to miss them, so subscribe down below, guys. Thanks a lot. How long will it actually take to grind out the Enlightened reputation then? Well, it is gonna depend a lot on how many rares you kill actually. Wowhead did a good estimation. They basically compared killing no rares to killing all the rares and doing all of the Zereth Mortis content on top of that, and they came up with these results. For Honored, it was 8 days killing everything compared to 11 days killing no rares. For Revered, it was 22 compared to 29. For Exalted, it's 49 compared to 64, so obviously a bigger difference the longer into the reputation grind you get. Now, all things considered, I think this is pretty promising. Especially keep your eyes on the Revered numbers, because remember, the start of week 5, whenever the second legendaries unlock, is when we need Revered. That's day 29, and with this estimation you'll be able to reach Revered by day 29 with killing no rares. And remember, you will obviously kill some rares just going from and to quests, so you will probably knock it out a little bit faster than this. Then on the flip side, you might miss some dailies, you might miss some world quests, whatever, so you're obviously going to lose a bit as well, but this is really, really promising. It shows that you don't have to farm the rares whatsoever in terms of being revered by week 5. A few important things to note here on the backside of that. Dailies are the lowest in terms of reputation priority, but they reward other stuff like Cosmic Flux, so I wouldn't just completely ignore them. In terms of the cipher of the first ones, I already touched on it. You don't need to worry about it except those 2 upgrades. And the final point here is that you don't need to stress this reputation, because there's no real rush, there's no player power, so you can just chill out about it. So finally here, guys, I have some examples of daily, weekly routines, some different tiers of effort that you can put into Zereth Mortis, and then what you'll get out of it in return. Starting out with the lowest amount of effort. Here you only come to Zereth Mortis for the twice a weekly quest. You do that. That's obviously gonna involve some of the rares and world quests and stuff like that, but other than that, you don't really visit Zereth Mortis and you don't put any effort into the reputation. With this strategy, you won't be able to reach Revered by week 5 quite, but you won't actually be that far behind. So in terms of player power, you aren't losing a lot at all. You're just maybe losing 1 week of quality of life of not being able to upgrade your Lego and turn it into any slot you want, the second Lego that is. I would say this is definitely an acceptable level. I think that you can come to Zereth Mortis for the twice a weekly quest only, and you won't be too far behind in 9.2. Moving on to the medium level. Here, you are actually in Zereth Mortis every single day. You're doing the dailies, you're doing the world quests, but you're only killing the rares whenever you see them, maybe on your way to a quest, on your way to a world quest or whatever, and you don't seek the rares out, you don't need to camp them or anything like that. With this strategy, you will still be able to reach Revered by week 5, just barely, or by like the first few days of week 5, depending on how many rares you kill. You might even be able to reach it before that. I think somewhere around the medium effort line is where I will land in 9.2, especially if you're maintaining multiple characters. It gets pretty hard to justify doing anything above a medium level of effort when it comes to the Enlightened reputation. If you want to min-max though, let's get straight into the high effort level. Here you're doing all the world quests, you're doing all the dailies, you're trying to kill as many rares as possible every single day. You're instantly going to Zereth Mortis and starting the Cipher of the First One's research on the daily quest, the world quests. With this strategy, you will be revered by the start of week 4 already, so you are quite ahead, but as I said, there isn't really a lot of player power attached to it. However, for crafters, I think it's actually quite a good thing. You can do this until Honored, you don't have to do it until Revered, because remember, at Honored, you get that eye level 262 crafter upgrade item and also the legendary upgrade item for the 9.2 legendaries. This means that if you're a crafter and you just grind hard until Honored, you can maybe make some early cash selling those on the auction house. And finally, we'll take it up one last notch to the Giga Chat insane levels of effort in 9.2 reputation farming. You're doing everything in the tiers below, obviously, but you are race changing to a human to do it, because remember, the reputation actually works with the human racial, so you'll get it a lot quicker by being human, and you also grind the contract like an absolute mad lad, right? Once someone reaches Revered, you can buy it off the auction house, you farm a bunch of old world quests, and you get it that much quicker. Now, this is not something I advise anyone to do. This is purely for entertainment value. You could potentially be exalted already by like week 6, week 7 doing this, but it isn't worth it for pretty much anyone, right? There aren't any big character player power rewards. The memory, the only reason why you would want to get it fast, is still just time gated behind week 5, so only really do this if you love the challenge or if you love rep grinding that much. Alright guys, that was my 9.2 reputation guide. I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to subscribe down below if you enjoyed it. Also, leave in the comments if I forgot about anything, if you want to see more of anything, or if you have any questions regarding the Enlightened reputation. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next video. Stay tuned, have a good one, and bye bye. Huh? Oh, you're still here. Well, I'm sorry. I think you should probably go and check out a video maybe over here or somewhere here. You can even subscribe down here. That would be really, really nice. I would highly appreciate that. I'm gonna go snort some more lines. See ya.